Hello, and welcome to Just a Guy in a Bible. My name is Pastor Billy, and I am so glad you've decided to join me today. On this channel, we dive into the deep and meaningful messages found within the Bible, exploring the timeless truths and practical wisdom that it has to offer. Listen, whether you are a seasoned Bible scholar or just starting to explore the Christian faith, this channel is for you. We believe that the Bible has something for everyone, regardless of your background beliefs. So if you're ready to explore the transformative power of God's Word, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of faith. Currently, I try to upload at least one time per week as I recap the sermon that was given at Leaf River Baptist Church in Northern Illinois. So let's dive in. In the last video, we talked about Isaac being sacrificed to God and how God saved Isaac from that sacrifice and gave him a ram in the bush to be given as a substitute sacrifice. We talked about how Christ is the substitute for you and I. Well, the very next thing we read about is the death of Sarah, Abraham's bride and Isaac's mother. That was an intensely sad time for that family, as you can imagine. However, Abraham needed to prepare for and care for Sarah with the honor and dignity that she deserved. You see, there were travelers. They were travelers in Canaan, and even though God had told Abraham that this land would be his, it hasn't happened yet. That means that Abraham has to legally purchase a place to bury Sarah. So after Abraham took time to mourn the loss of his wife, he went to the city gates and he made a deal to purchase the cave where he would bury Sarah. What I love about what Abraham did, though, is Abraham did not negotiate in bad faith like those in that culture would when he went to purchase this land. You see, Abraham had a testimony that he needed to uphold. He was a representative of God in this place. The men in the land actually called Abraham a mighty prince, which means in Hebrew, it means a prince with God. You see, he had a good testimony among them, and they respected him. And what I love about that is that even though this world is not our home, we must be careful as travelers and strangers to have a good witness to those who are outside the faith. You see, these Hittites, they did not worship Abraham's God, but they respected Abraham and his faith. In fact, they offered to him to use one of their own tombs, but Abraham refused that. Now, what's really cool is that while Abraham mourned, it wasn't the same as what they'd seen before, right? You see, we know that because Abraham knew that Sarah had died in faith. That means that Abraham knew she was in the Lord's care. In the Old Testament, very little is revealed about the afterlife. But God's people knew that God would receive them when they died. We read about that in Psalms. And that's similar to what we know to be true today. As a matter of fact, I love what Dr. Havnar at Moody Bible Institute, here's what he said when someone came to him about the loss of his wife to offer condolences. Here's what he said. He said, "Son, if you know where something is, you haven't lost it." See, Dr. Havnar knew what Abraham knew, which is something that we can be sure of today. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13, we read, we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, those who have passed, that you may not grieve as others who have no hope." Abraham grieved as one with hope. You and I can also grieve as one with hope. If your loved one knew Jesus, then right now think about where that loved one is. And listen, if the loved one that has passed, the loved one that you're thinking about, if you knew that they had a relationship with the Lord, then you're joyful, right? If you're unsure if they had a relationship with the Lord, then make it your goal that no one else around you passes without you being sure of their relationship with the Lord. Of course, the same goes true if you knew that they had a relationship with the Lord, you should have the same goal. Make sure no one around you passes without them knowing that they could have a relationship with the Lord. Let's make sure that everyone around you has a relationship with Christ so that they can have the same hope that you and I have. That's a little recap of Genesis chapter 3, and that's all the time that we have for today. But before we go, I want to thank you for joining me here on Just a Guy in a Bible, and I hope this video has encouraged you and maybe even given you some new insights or something to think about as you think about the Bible, and has inspired you to dive into its teachings. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and sharing it with others so that they can find it valuable as well. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel below so that you never miss an update. And remember, studying the Bible is a journey, and we're all in this together. So put down any questions, comments you have down below, and let's have a conversation. And until next time, may God bless you and guide you on your own journey of faith. And as always, listen, if you are a guy and a Bible, you're never alone on that journey.